Today there will be Carnage.
Is that who that's supposed to be? He looks more like my mother-in-law. Hey, yo, hey.
Oh, we're doing like a Rodney Dangerfield thing today. I see.
No respect. I can't get no respect. Even here, no respect.
Hello all, I'm Josh. This is Josh Builds Stuff, and I can't speak for the Stormtrooper, but personally, my mother-in-law is lovely. Maybe one of the nicest people on the planet. My in-laws actually happen to live right next door to me. If you were wondering how similar my life was to that of a 90s sitcom, it's very similar. But today we are not talking sitcoms, unfortunately. Today we are talking about this new Carnage head, a new set from Marvel. This set just came out in April 2021, contains 546 pieces, and costs $60, just like every other one of these busts has up till now. The Darth Vader bust that's coming out in a few weeks, that one is going to be $70, but that one is more pieces, and we're not talking about that set. We're talking about Carnage today. This is another set that we can add to the growing list of 18 plus sets that LEGO is putting out lately, and honestly this may be one of the first 18 plus LEGO sets that I think actually fits the category, mainly because of the subject matter. Carnage isn't exactly a kid-friendly character, and this build, once it's complete, looks pretty menacing and mean and a little scary, and honestly, I understand that age recommendation here. I don't think there are many, kids that this set would really appeal to. And on top of the subject matter, the build for this set was pretty complex. I'm not saying a 17-year-old couldn't put the thing together, but it did have some more advanced building techniques, and so I guess in that respect it is better suited to older audiences. And speaking of that build, it was a nice build in my opinion. It took a couple of hours, so it took a good amount of time in my opinion. A lot of cool build techniques, like I said before. This set, it's like the other busts. If you've built any of the other Star Wars helmets or whatnot, you build up kind of an internal square structure and then stick some plates to the outside, kind of like in a bigger Brickhead set. There were a lot of fun build techniques going on here, like sculpting the face and building out the jaw pieces and placing all the different teeth elements. Overall, everything comes together in a really great looking build, and the build experience, like I said earlier, was also really great. Here's something about me that might not make a lot of sense. I don't watch a lot of LEGO review content. That being said, I want to take a couple of guesses at what some other LEGO reviewers might say in regard to this set, and I don't think their opinions will be entirely positive. I think they'll say they don't like the stickers, they don't like the overall head shape, and they don't like this protruding underbite weird jawline. Here's what I think about those same points. One, the stickers are, in my opinion, unavoidable, and I think they actually add a good amount of detail to the front of this build, so I'm not too worried about those personally. Two, the head shape is bad or weird, and I actually think that's not true on this build. I think on the Iron Man helmet, that is maybe the most comparable set to this one, I think that one looked a little blocky and a little weird, especially on the sides and the back of that helmet. This one, I think LEGO got a little better. Guys, remember, LEGO's trying to make very round, very organic shapes and fit them into a specific size so that the set is around 600 pieces so that they can sell the set for about $60. And if you think you could do better with those limitations, then by all means, I'd love to see you try. But I think working with what LEGO had here, I think they did a pretty good job. And lastly, the underbite. I think a lot of people will be very critical of the weird protruding lower jaw on this figure. And on that point, I'm gonna have to kind of agree. I showed this set to my wife and she was like, he looks like an anglerfish. And I don't think that's exactly the look that LEGO was going for here. Now, before we get too critical, remember that Carnage lives in America where we don't have any sort of universal health care, and so it would probably cost a whole bunch of money at an orthodontist to get that underbite fixed. I had braces when I was younger. It was not a cheap process, and I don't think Carnage has a very good dental plan, being a supervillain and all. With this point, I tried to give LEGO the benefit of the doubt. I scoured the internet looking for other Carnage sculptures and art and pictures and maquettes and other toys, and I really can't find any other examples where Carnage has this bottom jaw that just sticks out so much farther than the rest of his face. Can I tell you what I think happened? I think LEGO was designing this Carnage head at the same time they were designing the new Venom head that's also coming out in a couple of weeks. And when I think of Venom, I do think of him having a much larger, much lower bottom jaw sticking out, also the tongue, which is included in the set, but I think of that large bottom jaw, and that kind of suits that character, and so I assume that the sculpts of these two heads are going to be extremely similar, just basically done in a different paint job. But besides that criticism, I do think that LEGO kind kinda nailed this set. Overall, I do think it looks really great. I love the bit of symmetry here because it is a head, but there is a tiny bit of asymmetry just in the eyes. I like the big scary looking teeth. I like that this dude looks a little menacing and mean and a little scary when you turn off the lights, and that a kid wouldn't necessarily like this set. I think that means good things for LEGO in the direction that they're willing to go. Here's what people like me are going to do with this new LEGO set. They're gonna stick it up on their shelves that are probably full of a bunch of other cool stuff and leave it there. That's about it. And no one's gonna walk into my office and say, oh, this stuff is all pretty cool, but that Carnage Lego set, his lower jaw protrudes a little too much as compared to the actual character in the comic books. No, they walk in and they go, whoa, look at all this cool stuff. Is that a space shuttle made completely out of Lego? Ooh, Mandalorian helmet. Ooh, Iron Man and Carnage. I like that guy. Cool, Baby Yoda, that dude's the best. And then they also usually go, whoa, a full-size Stormtrooper. Can I take a picture with this? I want to show my friends. And I usually say like, well, why don't you ask him yourself? He has feelings. And they're like, you're putting a little too much personal identity behind this inanimate object. And I'll be like, whoa, don't call him an inanimate object. He doesn't like that.
Hey, thanks for the respect here.
You got it, buddy. And so, my overall thoughts, this set is not as bad as I'm assuming that people will say it is. Maybe everyone out there will be totally positive and say that this set is great, like I'm saying, but I kinda know the LEGO community and I'm assuming they won't say that. And so I think this set will appeal just fine to the audience that LEGO's trying to reach, either Marvel, Carnage, or big LEGO fans, or people like me who have some level of overlap in all three of those categories. But let me know if you agree or disagree with my opinions on this set. Let me know in the comments down below, and let me know if you know any well-priced orthodontists that we could take this guy to. We'll get that jawline fixed in a jiffy. As always, thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends. I'll see you next time.